guys, Andy here. Alright, I want to make a really quick video about this, building your own solar panels versus buying them. So I've been doing a lot of math since it doesn't cost anything to do the planning part. So this video will be the preparation. To be honest, if you're going to build your own solar panels and you don't have sheets of paper looking like this, then if you don't plan, then you plan to fail. Okay? So we're gonna have to go through a lot of different parts, but this will help you, and this will hopefully save you time, but you should still do your own work. Each one of these rows is a different solar panel type that I'm looking at AliExpress. So these ones, I'll go through them quickly, and this is what we're going to be talking about. So this one, then this one, then this one, and this one, then this one. Okay, these are the ones we're talking about. Some of them actually have disappeared, but all you need to know are the dimensions here of each solar cell and the wattage. That's all you need to know. You look that up and you find the cheapest seller. AliExpress was the best place I could find, but eBay was very close. But eBay had far worse shipping time and is a lot more sketchier, so I do recommend going on AliExpress if you're going to do this. Okay, so that being said, okay, so each cell, so I'm only focusing on 60 cell solar panels for 7S 18650s. Okay, so that means these. All right, so 7 in series. That's what all of this video is going to be about. That if you're looking at other things, then this will still help you, but I'm focusing, my channel is all about 7S and 18650 batteries. Okay, that is a constant that will never change. That's what I focus on, but I do a lot of other things that can help you out even if you're not specifically locked into 7S and 18650s. Okay, that being said, the really small one, 22 watts, it would cost $8 for the solar cells. This is Canadian final price, alright? Or I can do 25.8 watts at $13. Now this is at 30 volts, right? And with the diodes put in place, then it drops it down, so you're at 29.5 or less, right? 29.5. The reason for that is that you don't need a charge controller, but we'll be talking about later. This is one option, and there's many other options. Okay, so we can do it with this one, number one, and these are the buy prices. So the cheapest is 50 of them for $4.7, or the reason why I put 250 is you can build 4 of the panels, right? So 6, 12, 18, 24, 240. So you got 10 extras in case you break any, which you might break more than 10 of them from what I'm reading and understanding. But so you could build 4 of them for $33 just for the cells. Okay, so we're only talking about these cells right now. Okay, we're not talking about anything else yet. So $8, $13, $22, $44, $60, $77 per panel, right? And then wattage, 22, 25, 40, 105. So you can compare this one, 100-watt solar panel, because that's usually what you'll find on the market. Each cell will give you 1.75 watts or 3.5 amps total. Okay. So that, and then 150 watts, and then 260. I stopped at this because it just didn't make sense anywhere past that. These two were kind of doubles. Alright, so once I had that information down, then I moved on to this chart. Okay, now this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so these ones, 0.37 watts, 0.74 amps, 22 watts, $8. It would cost over $30 to buy a 20-watt solar panel, but it wouldn't be 60 cells in series, so you'd have to do some finagling and messing around, so it might be even more money. And I can't find, like, this is the only reason why you would build your own solar panels, is because you're trying to achieve a specific situation, and most solar panels are not going to be 60 cells in series, so that's an issue for us. Alright, and then you need tabbing, so the tabbing, 120 inches of main tabbing, and then 36 inches of fatter tabbing for the tops and bottoms. That'll be explained later. Here's the other ones, okay? And these are the dimensions, 10 inches by 18. This is all in inches, okay? The cost is all in Canadian dollars for me in Ontario. Alright, so in America, take that price and times it by 0.73. You can pause on that, pause on this, maybe even screenshot. I know my writing is horrible, but that's not the point of this video. Okay, moving on. I have decided that I want to make this small 20-watt solar panel. I'm happy with that. It will give 74.74 amps. I'm okay with that. And the reason why, so if I have two of them, then I can fully control these light bulbs. So these light bulbs will run just fine, and it'll charge up this bank. So that's why. Okay, so 44 watts. So it'd be nice to have a 100-watt panel, but I can't afford it, and I'm going to do a whole bunch of different testing. So my idea is I'm going to build 4 of them. This information will come later as well. I'm going to build 4 of them, and all 4 are going to be slightly manufactured different to try and figure out how cheap we can build these things, because cost of manufacturing yourself is more that, depending on how you do it and what tools you have available, is more than just buying it. If you're building your own solar panels, and especially if you're doing it for the first time, you just find the cheapest ones, which are these ones, right? These polycrystal, right? You're not looking at these monocrystal or any of that stuff. So I was trying to figure out the worth of them, which is the same as dollars per watt. So these really small ones are only 36 cents per watt, and these ones are really bad at 50 cents, 43, 40. So this is how it would be wired up, right? 10 high, 6 across, and that's to go in a zigzag through it, and then these two, and then you'd need Schottky diodes, which we'll talk about later. We got this guy, let's talk about him. 5 amps. Okay, this thing can do 5 amps, it costs $10. It has an MPPT function on it. It seems pretty simple. This is it on Banggood. That's what it's called. Okay, link will be in the description. And here are the specs. Okay, there is, so it says 5 amps. It's got some information on how to use the MPPT, but not really. Okay, so there is a comment, here it is right here. Output current range. Default current is 3 amps. Okay, that's fine. So it seems fine. It seems like a very cheap option that can maybe even increase performance. But in the description, there is a user that did a very good job of explaining the MPPT of it. Okay, fine. So we have this device. It says 15. I paid $10, so it must have been on sale. So anyways, okay, so that's done. This thing, let's see. These are my 1.25 to 32 out, which is fine. MPPT is 6 volts to 36 volts. So we're going to do some testing with that. I want to do a solar tracker using photoresistors by Great Scott. Look up a photoresistor solar tracker by Great Scott. You can see his video. Alright, there's lots of options for flux pens and tabbing wire. This is the one I found on AliExpress. Okay, $5 plus $5.77 shipping. I can do 6 panels worth with $11. So I spend $11, I can do 6 panels. The really thick wire I can only do 2, but I might be able to do 3, but then I'll just double up because I have more than enough of the thinner wire to do the bridge connections, because it doesn't make any sense that you need thicker wire for one part of it and not for another part. So it was 787 inches of the thinner tabbing and 78 inches of the thicker tabbing wire. So I looked at plexiglass. Home Depot, way too expensive. Amazon, I found an okay place, but I don't think that's good either. Okay, so this is what I found on Amazon. Okay, so price $22, and it's 24 inches by 36 inches. Okay, so I drew a quick diagram just to make sure. Okay, so that means I could do 4 of them. I basically sandwich. I can do 4 of them. Let's say $7 per panel, not 11. Okay, and then the front you'd use epoxy. Now, this is where I ended up going deeper because the price, all of the price, we're not even talking about the metal frame around the solar panel. We haven't even calculated that yet, and those parts are where the price becomes unreasonable. Plus we have the diodes. The diodes are cheap. These are the 2 that I have. They're no good. I think this one will work really well. There are different options. You just look for 100 volt 10 amp Schottky. Seems pretty cheap, pretty fair, like $1.30 for it, and it seems to be 2 diodes. So okay, fine. We've got, and I prefer this over the traditional. It has to be a Schottky as well. These ones up here, I don't like those because there's no way of heat dissipation, whereas this one has an actual design to heat dissipate just in case. Not that you need it, but it's, you know, it's an option. But anyways, you need a Schottky diode of 10 amps. So it's somewhere around $1. Now we're on to the epoxy part, and this is where we ended up getting a little too deep. So if we wanted to go really ghetto, we could just go to Dollarama or the dollar store and buy a whole bunch of 25 milliliter, 8 of them, 8 or more, 8 to 10 of the 25 milliliter one. These things, to be precise. Buy about 10 of these vials. They dry in 5 minutes though. That's a little quick. I don't like that, and they become very thick very quickly. So trying to, you know, squeeze out 10 of these all in less than 5 minutes didn't seem like, I'm gonna try it, but seems unlikely. And it goes on clear. That sounds good, right? Well, we can go even better. We can use urethane. Okay? No, this is where the rabbit hole went deeper. Superglues and adhesives by napaonline.com. Okay, so I found this then. Urethane seems okay. Epoxy, acrylic and epoxy seem to be the same thing. Urethane. We cannot use anything below that though. Okay, so that's fine. We figured that out. So I couldn't find any good epoxy, so I found urethane. Alright, so Lowe's is selling a crap ton of urethane for 25 bucks. To be specific, a liter of it for 25 bucks. That sounds good. Since I only need 200 milliliters per panel. So 2, 4, 6, 8. So I need 800 approximately. So that sounds great. 25 bucks divided by 4. That's a good price, right? Alright, let's keep going. Alright, so I kept going, and Canadian Tire had the same stuff, but they have smaller ones. Hey, but we need satin. Okay, that's good. Good. Okay, 13, 14, 15 times 1.13. That's almost $16. Okay, $16. Let's check the other one again. And this one is $28. Divided by 4. That's $7. $7 per panel versus $18. Okay, so no brainer. You buy the bigger one of urethane. You will find with the urethane that you'll run into semi-gloss, satin, and flat. Basically, you want flat, which is satin. Okay, you want satin because semi-gloss and gloss reflects light. We don't want to reflect it, we want to absorb it. Okay, so if you do urethane, make sure it has to be satin. At this point, we've discovered that if we go to Lowe's and we buy urethane, it cannot be polyurethane. If you buy polyurethane, it might not do what you need. It'll cost $7 per panel. Alright, so 7 plus 8 plus 1.7. The back plate, I think we can go cheaper than $5, but probably not. To be honest, there's no point in buying. We just need plastic backing, some kind of thick plastic. The thicker the better. So I think we can just go somewhere and find something cheaper, or maybe you can find some plastic lying around. Alright, this corrugated plastic, we can go and look it up. Right, it's like cardboard, but it's made of plastic. It's strong. It seems pretty strong. It would probably be a good backing. And it might be cheaper than the acrylic. You'd cut this out, you'd lay down all your solar panels, then you'd have them all soldered up. Probably use like some kind of glue to glue it onto this plastic. And then you would, I learned this, I watched a whole bunch of YouTube videos. So you use silicone, you make a bead all around it, all around your solar panels. And then you pour in your urethane or your epoxy, and it fills up to the height of the dam, so to speak, of silicone, right? And then there you go, you're done. And then you can use something really hard as your backing, like maybe metal. Alright, so maybe some metal like this. This sheet of metal would work good. It's a little flimsy, but it's still strong. Some other plates, you can just find scrap metal lying around somewhere. There's lots of it. Maybe find even thicker metal. That would be good. And then you put that on the back of all of that. Alright. And so, okay, so you find some scrap metal. If you know where to look, you can find it pretty much anywhere. You could go to some kind of scrap yard or something, find some sheets, or drive around on garbage day, find something with a big metal sheet. At this point, we'll have a bottom layer of metal, then corrugated plastic, or some kind of plexiglass, acrylic glass. I don't recommend it, it seems a little too expensive. And then your solar cells all soldered up, and then epoxy or urethane on top of that. I'm going to do both. Okay, so you got that. Now you need a metal frame around it. Do you? You probably do. So you can go to Home Depot or Lowe's and just get some angle aluminum and then some metal brackets, and that jacks up the price another 10, 20, 30 plus dollars. So we'll have to do that, figure that out in another, when I start actually building it. I don't know when, it might be a few months from now that I start building it. But this is the initial video to help you plan out. Once I finish the panel is to look at building this solar tracker. I'll build a really small one first, and that should be a bit of fun. This is just an initial part 1 video, planning and preparing. Obviously, I spent a lot of time planning and preparing. I had to do a lot of conversions and calculations. And yeah, that's what it looks like. So let me know what you think in the comments. Now remember, this is just planning and prepping. We'll see. Let me know what you think about all these parts. And let's see. So this one will only do 0.74 amps. This can handle up to 5 amps. So we could go, I'd say this is a safe bet, but we could go all the way up to this guy, right? 60 cells, 150 watts, right? But 100 watts per panel is a lot better. Let's see, that's number 4. So number 4 would have, the panel would have a dimensions of an absolute minimal of 25 by 37, but it would be, most likely be a few inches, maybe 2 inches longer and wider. Okay? So you could go up to that and have this guy. There's a little on-off switch too, which is nice. So let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel about this. Do you think this makes sense? I haven't seen anyone else on YouTube do this, actually planning and preparing to build their own solar panels. Is it cheaper? I don't think so. I don't think so, but it might be. You decide for yourself if these prices make sense to you, right? To build your own. But do note, we can't buy this small cell. It's going to be about this big, right? This is my hand, right? 18 by 10, 22 watts. We're going to build 4 of these, okay? We cannot buy them. We cannot buy 60 cell, 30 volt solar panels. I can't find them. Not for anything that makes sense. So, let me know what you think. I know this is a really long video, but it is what it is. Alright. Thanks, guys. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe for more, because I cannot stop doing this stuff. Alright. Thanks, guys. Bye.